Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, or afternoon, depending on when you're watching this. Today we are going to work on multiplying fractions together to get a product of those fractions. So let's go ahead and get started. If you remember yesterday, I had you take a look at a problem like this. 6/4 equals, and I told you I wanted you to look at the unit fraction, which in this case would be 1/4. And I said, well, you have to multiply it 6 times to get your answer, and that's what we worked on yesterday. That should be very familiar to us. Now, what we just did, what we're going to do today is we're going to kind of do that, but we're going to go ahead and do it backwards. Take a look at this information and see what you notice. First off, look at the answer. Our 6/4. Take a look at that. Take a look at the bottom of the denominator. What do you notice about the denominator between this and this? You notice that the denominator stays the same. Those two denominators equal each other. And when we're talking about multiplying by fractions, we leave the denominator the same. A lot of you have already figured that out already. I just wanted to tell you again just to remind you. Now notice the numerator. Do you see that 1 right there? And do you see how it changes to a 6? You got to think to yourself, how do I get from a 1 to a 6? Well, in this case, you have to take the 9, multiply it by that 1, and that will get you your 6 right there. So now, let's go ahead and take a look how you would do this in an actual problem. Here I have 4 times 1/6. This is a very good example of what you're going to be able to do by the end of this lesson. Let's go ahead and review. The first things first, you do not worry about multiplying our denominator. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to go ahead and move my denominator over here as a 6. Now comes the numerator. The numerator you do change. So I'm going to go ahead and take my 4. I'm going to say 4 times 1, and that equals 4. So my answer right now is 4/6, which if we put it into simplest form, we know that our greatest common multiple, is 2, or I should say our greatest common factor is 2. Sorry about that. Divide it by that, and you get 2/3. That is what I expect you to be able to do today. But that's not the only thing I want you to visualize. Let me show you another one. Alright, check this out. Here I have 3/5 times 7. What I can do too is I can visualize it like this. I can simply start with the fraction in the denominator. Then what I can do is I can go ahead and move these two numbers plus the multiplication sign over to the numerator. So I can say 3 times 7/5. Then what I got to do is I simply have to solve for 3 times 7, and we know that equals 21/5. But here's the deal. We're not allowed to leave it like this improper fraction. What we have to do now is we have to change it into a mixed number. So let me go ahead and show you. I'm going to go ahead and take my 5, and I'm going to go ahead and move the 21 down next to the 5. I'm going to go ahead and say that my 5 can go into 21 4 times minus my 20. Alright, so now I have that 1. I'm going to go ahead and put that 1 up here. I'm going to go ahead and move my 5 over here. So my mixed number would be 4 1/5. That is what you're supposed to be able to do today. Alright, thank you so much for checking in, and I'll talk to you later.